thank you, Pratyusha, for joining this call today. I know it's a difficult thing to have a professional call or something on a weekend, especially in Germany. It's a off day, and yeah, I thank you again for joining this call and sharing your experience with us. And for our viewers, Pratyusha is an Indian who came to Germany recently, and she got a job here in Germany. And yeah, we'll hear more about that from Pratyusha herself. And maybe Pratyusha, you can get started with a short introduction of yourself, and then we will get to more questions and answers. Over to
Yes,
you.
sure. Hi, Anoop. First of all, thank you so much for this opportunity. With this opportunity, if at least few of the people get some insights and get benefited, then I'm more than happy. Thank you
Awesome.
again for the opportunity. So, coming to my introduction, my name is Pratyusha. I've done my BTech in computer science in Hyderabad, India, and I have graduated in the year 2017. Post that, I have joined Amazon. I started off as a non-technical employee and then moved internally to data science team, and I have a total experience of 2 years in that, in which 1.5 years is into the data science team. And I later moved to Germany through family reunion visa in the last December, and I started my job search in this year, that is from January. And I was lucky enough to get an offer letter by the end of February.
Okay, awesome. Sounds good. So you
Thank you.
started your job search after coming to Germany. So it was not from
Yes.
India, right?
No, I was very much concerned about my visa itself because
Mhm.
post COVID, it was so difficult to get the slot and
Yeah.
get the interview done and come to Germany. So that was my focus when I was there.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Then I move on to my next question. So how did you manage to get a job in Germany? So could you please explain the steps that you followed and maybe
Uh,
also what worked and what didn't work? But we might get into
yes.
those things at a later stage, but maybe you can just start with the procedure that you followed and explain those
Yes.
steps a bit.
Yes, definitely. So I started preparing my resume and cover letter. Like unlike India, here we also need a cover letter for applying for the jobs. So
Mhm.
first I started off with the resume. Here I got to know that people do follow a standard European format, but I was confident with my own format. Like I wanted to try with my own format, and I just made a resume with a format that I liked. I made a resume and also a cover letter with the summary of all the points that I have covered in the resume. And I started applying. I initially used LinkedIn to apply. And like first, I also have done a research on what all jobs are available in Germany that I fit into.
Mhm.
So I thought, I mean, I looked at my skill set, I noted down what all I know, and I started looking for opportunities here, and I tried to match with the jobs which I fit in. So then I saw that with the skill set that I have and the experience that I carry, that is, I just have 2 years of experience, right? So I am an entry level associate. So for that, I felt that my skill set is okay to start applying for the jobs, and I started off applying. My plan B was, if I do not get good enough positive responses or any positive response, I wanted to upgrade myself and then enhance my resume, and I wanted to I this was my plan B. But luckily in the first 1 week itself I started getting positive responses, so I just continued with the resume I made and the skill set that I have. So with that itself I ended up getting a job.
Okay. Sounds great.
Thank you.
So maybe you can then share what worked and what didn't work when you were searching for the job.
Yeah, first of all, the language proficiency.
Mhm.
That's the main problem, or that's the main point here. So, out of 10 jobs, there are only 3 jobs where the German language is not asked for.
Okay.
So, that was the biggest challenge for my role that I was looking for. But a positive thing here is that I have learned until A2 in India. So, I had at least basics, like having something is better than having nothing, right? So I had that basics. And I have also updated in my resume that I am proficient in German until A2. So this is a positive thing. Like I would suggest the aspirants to update your resume, have it written, like write it until where you know German. Like first of all, it's a best practice to learn German.
Mhm.
Start off with A1 and finish at least until A2 before you start applying jobs, and also mention that in your resume, because when a HR is scrolling down your resume, if they see that at least you know until A2, they'll get that positive vibe that this person has that zeal to at least learn,
Yeah.
and he's interested, he has that zeal. So it gives a very positive vibe to the HR, right? So it's always good to mention that in your resume. So I did that.
Mhm.
And along with that, coming to the job portals, I got positive responses from LinkedIn. Like I started off with LinkedIn and I started getting responses, and I got so used to applying with that portal itself that I didn't use many portals. But
Okay.
that's not a good practice. When you're actively looking for jobs, it's better to use all the platforms available, because the more chance you take, the more opportunity you might get, right? So it's
Yeah.
better to apply using Stepstone, Glassdoor, Indeed, whatever job portals that are possible. And also to have good connections with the LinkedIn members. Like you can get good connections with many LinkedIn HRs, and you can contact them if, and you can get updates whenever there is an opening. They post, right, that we are hiring. So all that will be of great help.
Okay. And do you have an experience of something that didn't work for you and which you would suggest others to maybe avoid?
Nothing as such.
Okay. So most of the things that you tried worked in your favor, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I think I
Awesome.
was lucky in that part.
Okay. Awesome. So my next question would be, what is the difference that you have found between the hiring process in India versus the hiring process in Germany, especially as a woman who is working in the tech industry? So maybe you can share some insight on that.
Yeah, sure. So there's a huge difference, I should say, because in India we have limited rounds of interview before they select you, right? But here there are more number of rounds, and they analyze a lot about you in person. It's like the first importance, the first priority they give here is about the person, about they evaluate you as a person, and then they go forward to check your technical skills. So I'll tell about the rounds that I faced. So the first initial contact that the HR makes would be either through a phone or an email, where
Mhm.
they ask you for your time slot for a personal screening. In that screening, the HR would understand what skills you have, and how interested you are in the company. They will also expect you to know something about the company even before you just start your first round. So that is what they expect from you. So they would ask you about your skills, and they try to evaluate you as a person, and they try to see if you fit in the company. If
Mhm.
they feel everything is fine, then they will arrange for another screening call with the hiring manager. Now the hiring manager again tests and checks if you fit in the role, and also if you will be able to cope up with the people here, or you like to see whether you gel well or not. They do not get into your technical skills, they'll just get to know what skills you have, that's all. They won't question you. So this is also like a screening round. Post this, if they feel everything is okay, then they will arrange for a technical round. That will be in either of the ways. Either they give you a case study and give you a week's time to finish the work and present it. Otherwise it will be a one-on-one call, around 1 or 2 hours, where they ask you various questions on the technical skills that are required. So after this, and if they find everything is okay, then again there will be another HR round, which will be around leadership skills or managerial skills. The final round that usually happens in India as well, right? So after all these, if they find you are a good fit, then they say okay. Even after all the 4 rounds are done, it's not 100% thing that you are into the company. They can still reject you if
Yeah.
they do not find it fine. So here the chance they give is like very minimal, I can say. They do not take it for granted, like, okay, maybe they will learn. Okay, let us give him or her a chance, is not
Hmm.
what they consider. They will look for the perfect fit in that particular place. So
Okay.
that's a huge difference from India, where in India people try to give some chances.
Hmm.
Here they do not give that chance, though it will be a difficult thing for them to interview every person. They do that and take one single person who's the best. So
Okay.
it's like that.
And how much time did it took for you from the beginning to the end? So what was the
It
time frame?
took around a month.
Around a month. Okay.
Yeah, like for few companies it will be around 2 months as well, because every week if they keep conducting each round, by the
Hmm.
time they release you the offer to you, it will be around 2 months.
Okay. But
So it's
usually in
quite a
India,
time
it's,
taking process. Yes, yes,
yeah,
yeah,
when
that will
compared
be
to
said.
India, I think it's a huge time difference as well. So in India,
Yeah.
it's, I think you get the confirmation in a week or so, not more than
Yes.
that. Okay.
Usually 2 or 3 rounds get are done in one day itself,
Yeah.
but it's not
Yes.
the thing here.
Mhm.
They take quite a good time.
Yeah. Okay. Then I think this is my last question. Do you have any suggestions, especially for women who are job seekers and who are in India and who wish to work in a country like Germany? So, do you have any suggestion for them?
Yes, definitely. So, being women, we get situations where we will get a huge gap in our career due to various reasons, right?
Yeah.
The best thing about Germany is that even I have a gap of 1 year. I have only 2 years of experience, post which I had 1 year of gap.
Mm.
With a short career itself, I have a year gap, right, which is huge for a short career. Still, hardly one or two HRs have asked me, if I asked me why I had a gap in my career. But
Mhm.
that didn't matter. I mean, that didn't stop them from giving me a next interview call. So that's the best thing I felt about Germany. Like in India, I didn't see this. If there is a gap, they do not show much interest. But here, it's nothing like that. Though you have a gap, you can still try. Even after you have kids, you have a lot of gap. They only thing they want is the skill set that is in the requirement section that they have mentioned. That's it. They do not care about your gap. So that's one good thing. So any aspirants, though, if you are feeling that you have a lot of gap and you might not be considered, no, you will be considered, first thing. And the second thing is that even the entry level associates, you can feel free to apply. There's nothing wrong. If you're from India, you already have a job and you want to apply, you can happily apply. There's no risk, no harm. With even with less years of experience, you still can get a job, because I have got it with only 2 years of experience. And so yeah, the first thing you have to be careful about is the resume, because the resume getting picked here is the most toughest thing, I should say, because that itself is like you got 50% of your job. So focus a lot on your resume. Try to be crisp, but don't make it too lengthy. It has to be around 1 or 2 pages, and it should talk about your achievements, like talk about what you have done rather than what you in a team have done.
Mhm.
So focus more on your achievements and try to showcase that you are somebody unique and you would make a lot of value to the company. Your resume should speak in such a way that they feel they'll miss if they do not give you a chance. So focus on that. And as I also had a plan B, I would suggest all the aspirants also, like, try for 1 month. And if you do not see more number of positive responses, or if you feel there's something missing, try to enhance your resume. By this, I don't mean you have to add something which you do not have, but try to rephrase the sentences and try to make it look more attractive or more appealing. So you can do that. And a suggestion from my side is that keep a track of all the companies you're applying for, like maintain an Excel sheet, and maintain all the data, like which company you have applied for and on what date you have applied and on what date they replied. So
Mhm.
sometimes it works in such a way that few companies do not like most of the companies here, they do reply saying maybe we found a better fit, or maybe you we cannot consider you. Most of the companies do reply, but there will be few companies who do not turn up. So you can give a reply to them asking what has happened, what is an update regarding my job application. If you have a track of what all you are applying for, you can understand which companies have not replied back, so
Yeah,
that you can take a chance, because that also might help you. So I would suggest that do not leave any stone unturned. Try by all means. If you are actively looking for a job, try all the methods, all the measures to get a job.
awesome. Yeah. I think the Excel sheet suggestion is really great. When
Thank
I
you.
was also searching for a job, I used to maintain a not a soft copy but a hard copy. I mean, a paper and a pen, and I used to write down where all I applied, and
Mhm.
also used to track the status of each jobs. I think that's a good thing that we should follow all the time.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I mean, it had helped me a lot, really, because I used to understand how many companies have not replied, how many companies
Yeah.
have replied, and how long they have taken to reply. So that was like a boost up for me. Like when I see I have applied for, like, say, my record was that I have applied for like around 120 jobs, out
Oh,
of which I had 7 positive responses. Like
okay.
with more number of positive responses increasing, it was like a boost up for me. Though I didn't get a job in the initial days, like for the first 1 month, because I was getting this positive responses. When I look at the Excel sheet, I used to feel okay, I have a chance.
Mm-hmm.
I got that positive vibe and a motivation to apply for more jobs and keep trying.
Yeah.
So that helped me a lot, and that's the reason I give the suggestion.
Thank you. It's a great suggestion. And
Thank you.
yeah, I think that's it from my side. And you also gave a lot of information which would be really helpful for people looking for a job in Germany. And thank you for being here on a Sunday once again.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we wish you good luck for your new job and have a great weekend.
Thank you.